You cannot do kindness too soon, for you never know how soon it will be too late. With this in mind, today we at NDTV, along with Fortis Healthcare, launch a unique and critical campaign, More to Give, promoting the cause of organ donation. At any given time, there are about 10 potential donors in ICUs in any major city that you care to name. And yet, every single year, 5 lakh people die of end-stage organ failure, waiting in hospital queues for a donation to come through. And we have a panel here, an excellent panel here, which is going to talk to us through every aspect of the entire issue and to help us bring awareness. But why don't I start off with getting a sort of a government view. Dr. Vimal Bhandari, who's the Director, National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization. Is this something that the government is putting a lot of attention on and focus on?
Government is doing all effort to do this kind of, to boost up this program. We are taking the help of NGOs. We are taking, our approach is 360-degree approach to, like you are giving this program. We are, through a Doordarshan, we are sending SMSs, we are sending, through the FM channels, we have doing all sort of interministerial meetings. And, all sort of effort we are doing to that. We had an interministerial talk also, and they have made nodal officers for facilitation of these kind of programs. So government is trying their best to do these kind of programs to boost up this program.
Right. Pranoy, quite often, some of our most successful campaigns are the ones where they help in spread awareness, where they make people aware that there are myths around this, there's carelessness, they don't understand it completely, and therefore this perhaps is a campaign where we can help to spread that message.
I think it's hugely important, and it's really close to my heart. I've been passionately involved in this. Actually, it goes back to the World This Week days when we did a whole campaign about organ donation, and I still remember taking a shot of a lady waiting for a liver transplant, and she walked across the screen, and we looked for a liver transplant. None came, and she died 2 weeks later. As a result of that, or as a result of a lot of efforts, the law was changed, and you could, now it's much easier to have organ donations in this country. It's quite difficult then, because what do you define as brain dead? And Dr. Shomaron Nandi was really instrumental in drafting that law. So it's very easy now. All you've got to do now, each one of us, is sign a little document saying, I pledge my organs, whichever ones. If you want to do your entire body, which you can, in which case you could save 10, 12 patients who are in hospital dying. You're already dead. You're brain dead. After you're dead, they'll harvest your liver, your kidney, your heart, various parts of your anatomy and distribute it. And amazingly, the entire journey of mine came to a head about 3 years ago when my brother, cousin, closest member of my family, needed a liver transplant. And he was dying. And he had 2-3 years of suffering. And he went to Chennai. And I must congratulate the people of Tamil Nadu. They're the highest donor record in this country. The percentage of people who have signed these forms, who give donations of their organs, are the people of Tamil Nadu, and they really need a round of applause. They really have set an example for this country. So he went to Chennai and was waiting, and really it looked very bleak, because your decline is rapid towards the end. And then, probably 2 weeks left for him to die. A boy in Coimbatore, or a boy nearby, 16-year-old boy, died in a car crash, and the parents and the boy had donated their organs. That boy's liver was flown across to Chennai. My cousin, who was 65 at that time, got the liver. Dr. Rela did an amazing operation. He is, of course, world famous. And now my cousin is 3 years on. He's like 16 years old. He's just had a new life. 2 weeks after the operation, we had dinner with my cousin and Dr. Rela. And Dr. Rela did say, Deepu, that's my cousin, it's 2 weeks since you had it. You would have been up there by now. You're lucky to be alive thanks to this boy. And we did everything to thank the family, but there is a lot of anonymity, which there should be, of course. But it is an amazing gift you can give. And all of us should sign this.
It's a gift of life. You're gifting life to someone else.
And I plead to every public figure, every MP in Parliament, to the Prime Minister, to the leader of all parties, sign this card and hold it up. And it's wonderful to have you. And if everybody in the film fraternity, because you carry so much weight, what you do makes an impact. If all of you could sign that donor card and set an example and do it publicly, because as you say, you've got to raise awareness. It's a small step for each individual. I know it's plagiarizing, but a huge step for India. And we are very low in our percentage of donors.
Krishnan, you are, of course, the director of the Cardiac Sciences and Chief Cardiothoracic Surgeon at the Fortis Malar Hospital in Chennai. The thing that Prannoy was talking about, that somehow Tamil Nadu seems to be doing it better than the rest of the country. What are some of the lessons that you think the rest of us should draw?
I think it's a set of circumstances. Three things which are seemingly unrelated happened together and brought about this transformation. As Dr. Prannoy mentioned, 1994, the Indian Parliament enacted a law permitting brain death to be recognized as a concept. So we did our first transplant in 94, as a matter of fact. But then, till 2009, it's pretty disorganized. Each hospital had whatever donors it had. There was no organ sharing, no formal network in place. I think around that period, there was a big scandal involving kidney transplants. And kidney transplants have a way of coming up with scandals every few years. And this came up in headline news, and Tamil Nadu government took it very badly, and rightly so. So they put in place a mechanism. They said this has brought disrepute, so this should never happen again. So for the first time, they involved all the stakeholders, including the public and private, and put in place a mechanism for organ sharing.
In the case of blood, it is something that there's no hesitation anymore in donating blood. But of course, the issues here are far more complex and far more problematic. But is it possible, you think, to break these barriers fairly soon?
Donation rate in India today is less than 1% of all Indians donate their organs. When you go to Western nations like the US, the number of people that donate their organs are in double digit, 13, 14, 15%. So you think about the population, think about the burden we have here, it's less than 1%. You heard Dr. Prannoy talk earlier about the fact that 500,000 people die every year because they don't get an organ in time. So our mandate at Fortis is how do we close these gaps that we're talking about? This is not a profit initiative for us. This is about doing the right thing, and we think this is our responsibility. So I think we've just started. I think a lot can be done. I think forums like this help. I think the support of everybody here will be a big driver as well.
There are also a lot of myths that there are around it. I've sometimes heard people saying, if I'm donating my organ, I'm going to have to pay the cost of the transplant. I mean, this is at least some of the sort of myths that you have. And there are others that I'm sure we can try and, maybe it's also time to try and remove some of those myths so that people aren't that scared.
On ground, when you talk to a family about organ donation in our country, we find that most of us who have tried seriously with systems in place, with trained transplant coordinators, a family which is happy with the treatment that their loved one received, they're the ones who say yes. And we find that almost 30% of the time people do say yes in our country. And I would like to add a very positive note that 5 years ago, our donation rate was 0.05. Today, we are 0.5. We have had a 10-fold rise in 5 years, and this is despite the system. Whatever has happened so far in the country is because of the effort of a few people. Now we have systems in place. We have NATO. So these are very exciting times ahead for us. Another myth, which if we can say, call it a myth, some people say that if I donate a kidney, will I be born without a kidney in my next birth? So these kind of myths, when we ask them that, okay, if you have a cancer in a kidney, you will be very okay if you take it out. So when it comes to donation, why do you want to talk about a myth like that? And then they understand very quickly.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you all to put your hands together to applaud a man who I think is a real hero, whose decision tough as it was for him personally at that time, affected and impacted 34 lives. I'd like to call on to the stage Mr. Madan Mohan Junejan.
मेरे अनमोल का जब एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो मेरे को डॉक्टर साहब ने बोला इसके ब्रेन में पूरा भरा हुआ है ब्लड से। 6 घंटे बाद रात 10 बजे डॉक्टरों ने ब्रेन डेड डिक्लेयर कर दिया।
पर आपने क्यों उस समय सोचा कि आप करना चाहेंगे ऑर्गन डोनेट?
मेरा यही लालच था कि मेरा बेटा मेरे जीते जी इस धरती पे रहे, उसका वजूद खत्म नहीं हो।
और आपको लगता है कि ऑर्गन डोनेट करके वही हुआ है? 34 लोगों,
मेरा बेटा आज भी जीवित है, 34 लोगों में जीवित। उन सबकी आंखों में वो चमक देखता हूं मैं, वो चमक इतनी पावरफुल चमक है
ये रही
कि उसके आगे ताजमहल की चमक भी।
ये 7 साल की बच्ची है जो उसको ट्रांसप्लांट हुआ था। आप ठीक हो? हम इसकी कहानी सुनते हैं। ज़ैनब,
A big hello to all.
how are you?
I'm fine.
And you got a transplant?
Yes,
And how are you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
You're feeling much better?
I want to say, please be an angel. Please donate your organs. When you leave the world, you can make others' life beautiful.
Like somebody did for you.
Yes.
Parminder, I think we couldn't have, those the two people we just met. I think that sort of just sums up everything. A person who took the decision has got his son living on now in 34 different human beings. And from the other side, you see Zainab's story and how well she's doing now. That sort of sums up why we should be doing this.
Absolutely. I think clearly for us at Fortis, the reason why we are so passionately committed to this cause of organ donation and now along with NDTV, working through this campaign, is that it very much fits into the core purpose for us as an organization at Fortis of really saving and enriching lives. And I would certainly go out and make sure that everybody in India understands the criticality and the need of having people pledge their organs so that we're able to save lives and be able to give families joy and happiness for those who are not able to get that today.
Irfan, anything you want to say to Zainab or to the audience in general as a message?
Sometimes we feel that organs are isolated. The way we have started feeling that we are isolated from the whole, human beings are isolated from the whole. I think everything is part of whole, and we are also part of it. Unless and until we start thinking in the terms which we used to believe that everything is a cycle. We have to believe that we take something and we have to give it back. And if your dead body could be useful, that's such a beautiful thing.
Just wanted to turn to some of the NGOs we have out here. NGOs, of course, a very important part of this. We have Sunaina Arora Singh here, CEO at Organ. What are some of the major issues and challenges that you face?
Okay, so the main issue, as Dr. Seth was saying, is not really a religious issue. It's not to do with anything else other than awareness. They just don't know about it. So what we do is when we go to awareness sessions to school and all, what we tell them is not rocket science. We just explain the whole process. We tell them what it is. And once they understand that, oh, okay, it's after I die, and it really doesn't matter, and most of them are okay with it. So at some later point of time, they'll, research it more on the net, they'll go out, talk to their friends about it, and eventually they'll, the discussion will start, and it'll become a, a whole movement.
That's one of the lessons from this. If you get people to think about it, then you'll start having a lot more action.
Right, absolutely. And I think it's this mass aspect which is important here. I mean, we are talking about 1.25 billion people, how to reach out to them. And you can choose days, like there's the Organ Donation Day, which we are going to highlight a lot on NDTV. And I would just appeal to all youngsters, dedicate next Valentine's Day to donating your heart. Make that a day of donation, not just of love, of the best form of love. And I think some NGOs are doing this. I think somebody in Chennai, again, is doing this. If you can just make this next Valentine's Day the biggest form of love.
I just had an idea. I don't know, it shouldn't become headline. But maybe rather I would choose Bakra'id to donate my organs, you know.
That's another possibility. All right, I just want to talk about a very special aspect of this campaign, our war veterans, a lot of whom have actually taken a pledge to donate their organs. They've already given to the country, and now they want to give some more. So we want to salute the ambassadors of organ donation and also try and inspire all Indians who are here to take the pledge today. For our war veterans, already who've done so much, given their lives to the country, and still have more to give, why don't all of us?
We saw action in Srinagar. Then we moved to Chamjodiya sector, and there in final clearing, I lost my leg, which was blown up by a mine. I am Colonel H.N. Handa. I have donated my organs as I feel there is more to give.
My jaw was totally shattered. They have to take out one lung of mine. In fact, I didn't know much what is happening thereafter. If the people had not donated blood, I wouldn't have survived.
On line of control, I was defending the post, and when in an enemy action, a bomb lands next to me, and that bomb, disintegrates into millions of pieces. Shrapnels stubbed through me, some cut me through, and some are still kept inside. If I have taken birth in this country, it's my duty to serve the country till the end, till the last breath. I feel I have more to give. All the body organs which I am carrying with me, I don't need it after my death. So I think it is better if I donate these things now and let these body organs stay alive in others who need it more than me after my death.
Well, we do have some war veterans with us here, right here in the audience, so do put your hands together with them. Colonel Handa is here.
I agree with the points which have already been brought up by the learned panel, others. I'd just like to add one thing to what the lady from the NGO was saying. There's a need to enhance the awareness. I'll give you an example how it works so very well in the forces. We do not have a issue, religious, superstitious, any myth when one soldier needs the blood of another. No religion comes into it. I am a Sikh, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Hindu, nothing. Their thinking is beyond that level. We have to get that and inculcate the thought into the public per se that I am being able to save a life.
But it's really not that difficult. All you have to do is fill out that form and saying that I will donate. Educate yourself about it. Take a look at the myths. Think of the impact that you can actually make to so many people's lives, and then take the next step. Thank you so much for watching.
I would just appeal to all youngsters, dedicate next Valentine's Day to donating your heart. Make that a day of donation, not just of love, of the best form of love. And I think some NGOs are doing this. I think somebody in Chennai again is doing this. If you can just make this next Valentine's Day the biggest form of love.